You slowly open your eyes to an unfamiliar place. You blink hard and then blink again. You're lying flat on your back in grass that looks dead but crunches up like frosty cereal. The sky above you is an ugly sheet of gray, no sun, no birds, just an endless wind that howls like it lost its way home. You're shivering before you even sit up. And surprise, surprise, there's not even snow, just wind that slices through your skin. You try to take a breath. Mist leaves your mouth like a smoke signal from your lungs. Your nose is frozen. Your fingertips hurt. Your bones hurt. And you haven't even moved yet. It's somewhere around minus 30 degrees. That's not winter. That's you're not welcome here weather. You've just woken up in Ice Age North America, around 20,000 years ago. Right in the territory of ancient Native American ancestors. Watch until the end to find out why you'd be extinct before the day's done. This isn't the cute Ice Age you saw in cartoons. No mammoths are hugging each other or talking saber-toothed cats cracking jokes. This is the Mammoth Steppe, a massive frozen grassland that once stretched from what's now Alaska to the Great Plains. And right now, you're smack in the middle of it with no jacket, no fire, and no clue what day it is. How unlucky. There's no forest to hide in, no huts, no smoke trails, just wind. And the occasional gust that makes you feel like your ears might actually snap off. You try to stand, but your knees shake and your toes are numb from feeling like forgotten ice cubes in a cooler. You're barefoot, by the way. Awesome. Here's a brutal truth, not just a fun fact. Around 20,000 years ago, this land was dry, windy, and so cold even the woolly rhinos had built-in insulation that would put your winter jacket to shame. Without fire or shelter, a modern human like you wouldn't last more than a few hours before nature hit the off switch. So now you're up, kind of. Your legs are trembling like wet spaghetti, your teeth are clapping like they're gossiping behind your back, and your only piece of clothing, a ragged mammoth hide tunic, is flapping in the wind like a surrender flag. You'd laugh if your face wasn't frozen in a grimace. You stumble forward through waist-high grass that offers about as much warmth as a cold handshake. You don't know where you're going, but you know standing still is a death sentence. Somewhere deep in your modern brain, a primal voice starts whispering, "Fire," and then you realize you need fire. Too bad, your primal voice forgot to leave instructions. Now let's talk about what fire really means in this ancient North American chaos. First, you need wood. Good luck finding that. This isn't a lush jungle. It's a wind-blasted tundra. The nearest tree might be in another time zone. Then you need tinder, dry stuff that catches quickly. You glance down at your torn tunic, and for a second, you actually consider it. That's when it hits you. How do you even start a fire in this condition? No lighter, no matches, just rocks. You remember something about flint and steel, or rubbing sticks together. You try banging 2 random stones. Nothing. But you bruise your thumb and cry a little, and you start panicking. Well, the ancestors of Native Americans had this figured out. They mastered the hearth. They knew how to shield flame from wind, how to keep embers alive under ash, how to pass fire down like wisdom. But you've got goosebumps and 2 dumb rocks. Just as you're questioning your entire existence and considering making a scarf out of grass, you hear it. A low, thunderous crunch. Not wind, not your stomach. Something bigger. You turn, and there it is. A mountain. With legs. Covered in thick, shaggy fur like a giant walking rug. It's a woolly mammoth. Actually 2. One's nibbling the frosted grass like it's brunch. The other stares straight at you like it's wondering if you're food or fungus. Your first instinct? Hug it. Your second? Run. Your third? Stand completely still and hope it mistakes you for a rock. These things are the size of a tour bus, except fluffier and way more dangerous if they get spooked. If it charges, you won't outrun it. If it sneezes, you might get flattened. And yet, if you had a tribe and some guts, that mammoth could feed your people for weeks. Its bones could build a shelter. Its hide could become clothes. Its fat could keep fires burning. That one walking carpet is basically a prehistoric Costco, but getting it comes at a price. Well, the truth is that mammoths did coexist with humans. Around 20,000 years ago, the ancestors of Native Americans saw these giants roaming the plains of ancient North America. Sometimes they hunted them using group tactics, driving them into pits or off cliffs. Other times, they became mammoth pancakes. So you crouch low in the grass, praying to every modern god you forgot to believe in and watch. The mammoth snorts. You flinch, but then it turns away, uninterested. Probably saw your scrawny frame and thought, that one's not even worth the stomp. You think the mammoth was your biggest problem? Oh, sweet summer child. That was just the gentle giant. You step carefully through the crunchy grass, trying not to sound like a wounded snack. But the world is silent. Too silent, which means there might be something out there that has teeth and is listening. Then you hear it. A low growl. Not loud, not close, but definitely there. You freeze, trying to melt into the ground. Somewhere nearby, a giant North American lion might be stalking. Bigger than modern lions, more muscular, and not the kind that sings in musicals. These were ambush killers. Silent until your spine was in their jaw. You shift a bit and step on a twig. Classic rookie move. Suddenly, every blade of grass feels like it's whispering. You're screwed. You scan the horizon because out here, death doesn't announce itself. It lurks, it waits. And sometimes it giggles like an ancient hyena. Yes, they roamed parts of prehistoric America too, which is not a comforting sound at all. If that's not enough to stress you out, meet the Ice Age Wolverine. No, not the superhero. The actual animal. Small, yes, but built like a furry tank with rage issues. They would steal kills from larger predators, tear through bone, and absolutely chew through you if given the chance. Let's not even talk about the short-faced bears, towering, fast, and mean, who were the size of small cars and didn't appreciate trespassers. Your Native American ancestors survived this jungle of jaws by being clever, quiet, and constantly alert. No earbuds, no naps, no strolling. If you weren't moving smart, you were moving into someone's digestive tract. That's when you realize that you haven't eaten since you woke up 20,000 years ago. Your stomach is growling like it's trying to communicate with local wildlife. You're dizzy, weak, and about 5 minutes from chewing on your own sleeve. Then, like a miracle, you spot it. A bush, covered in tiny red berries, plump, shiny, beautiful. They almost sparkle in the sun like they were blessed by ancient forest spirits. You reach for one, then pause. Something deep in your gut, not hunger, the other gut, says, "Hold up. This could be poison." Welcome to early Native American dining, where every meal is Russian roulette. See, back in your world, food comes with labels, barcodes, safety inspections. Here, the only label is, "Try me and find out." Those berries could be edible. They could also be the prehistoric equivalent of licking battery acid. If your ancestors got it wrong, it meant hallucinations, vomiting, or a fast and undignified death in the grass. Nature doesn't give refunds. And don't even think about just tasting a little. Some Ice Age plants were so toxic they'd mess you up just from skin contact. You ever seen someone scratch their face off from stinging nettle? You don't want that. The smart move would be to wait. Watch if birds eat them. Look for animal bite marks. But you're starving. Your stomach's now making whale noises. You eat one. It's sweet, then bitter, then your lips tingle. Did you just eat a safe berry? Or did you just book a Jet2 holiday flight to the spirit world? Your ancestors, early Native Americans, had to learn what was safe the hard way, through generations of trial, error, and unfortunate funerals. There was no cookbook, just sharp instincts and good storytelling. Now your lips are cracked, your tongue feels like a wool sock. You've got that dry mouth panic where even swallowing hurts. Congratulations. You're officially dehydrated, and if you don't drink something soon, your organs are going to start filing complaints. You finally see a frozen stream. The ice is thick, glassy, and whispering sweet nothings to your survival instincts. You rush over, already imagining the sweet relief of cold, clear water. But hold on. Nothing's that simple out here. First, you need to break the ice. You try punching it, which is a bad idea. Your knuckles now hate you. You grab a rock and smash down until your hands feel like mashed berries. Eventually, you manage to crack a hole. Now you just scoop it up and drink, right? Wrong. Look at that water. It's got a strange tint. Kind of brownish. Maybe greenish. A little chunky. That's not mountain spring water. That's poop soup. Bacteria, parasites, bison drool. All swirling in a prehistoric cocktail of disease. If you drink it raw, you might survive the thirst, but good luck surviving what comes next. Diarrhea, dysentery, gut worms, you name it. Out here, dirty water isn't an inconvenience. It's a killer dressed as a blessing. The ancestors of Native Americans knew this. They boiled it, strained it through sand, melted snow clean, or figured out how to collect rain with bark or hides. But you're out here thinking the first puddle is a gift from the gods. You have to learn that safe water is gold. It's fire's twin brother. Without it, your body crashes. So now you're stuck staring at a hole you can't drink from. Your mouth's dry. Your fingers are numb. And somewhere in the distance, a snowstorm's rolling in. Drink smart or die thirsty. Simple as that. Your hands are shaking. Your toes? Can't feel them. Your breath's coming out like steam from a busted kettle. You've got one job now. Build something, anything, that stops the wind from turning you into a prehistoric popsicle. You look around. No tents, no cabins, no build mode button. Just grass, sticks, and... Wait, is that a mammoth ribcage? You've just hit jackpot. Looks like something bigger than you died here, and now its leftovers might be the only reason you don't die too. You drag a curved bone across the ground, arms trembling like overcooked noodles. Then another. You jam them into the dirt, wedge a few branches across the top, throw on some dried grass, maybe that torn hide you've been wearing like a sad toga. It's not pretty. Actually, it looks like a really bad art project, but it blocks the wind. Kind of. You crawl inside. It smells like wet fur and desperation, but compared to the open tundra, it's paradise. Now here's the reality. Without shelter, your body loses heat faster than it can produce it. Hypothermia isn't dramatic, it's slow. You get sleepy, you stop shivering, then you curl up and never get back up. Around 20,000 years ago, the ancestors of Native Americans figured this out early. In Ice Age North America, they used mammoth bones, hides, sticks, and even packed snow to build shelters that could block wind and trap warmth. You, on the other hand, are huddled inside something that looks like a mammoth sneezed on a pile of kindling. But it's something. It's a shelter. It might buy you a few more hours of life. And in this world, a few hours could mean everything. You've earned a break. Just don't fall asleep. Not yet. Your stomach's staging a protest. It's past grumbling now. It's full-on yelling. You need food. Real food. Not berries that might kill you. Not snow. Not dreams. Meat. So you decide to hunt. You find a decent rock, maybe flint if you're lucky, and you start scraping it against a piece of old mammoth ivory. You don't really know what you're doing, but it feels right. After about 40 minutes and several finger scrapes, you've got something vaguely sharp. You tie it to a long stick using a strip of hide from your crusty tunic. And boom, you now possess what looks like the saddest spear in Ice Age history. You creep through the grass. And there, by some miracle, you see them. A small herd of reindeer. They're grazing, calm, unaware that a freezing, hungry amateur with a shaky weapon is stalking them like a scene from a budget nature documentary. You breathe, you aim, you throw, you miss. Horribly. Your spear hits the ground with a thud about 10 feet away from the closest reindeer. The herd looks up, snorts, and bolts like they just remembered they left the oven on. One even glances back like it's offended. You stand there, defeated, holding nothing but your regrets and a half-frozen nose. Here's the thing, your Native American ancestors weren't hunting solo. Around 20,000 years ago, they worked in coordinated groups, drove animals into pits or snowbanks, and developed tools over generations. Spears, atlatls, bows, all came from trial and error. And teamwork, lots of it. You got one rock on a stick and no backup dancers. No surprise you're still hungry. Lesson learned, hunting takes more than hunger and hope. It takes skill, patience, and people. But right now, you've got none of those. You sigh, and go pick up your sad little spear. The Ice Age isn't done humbling you yet. You drag yourself back to your shelter just as the last sliver of light disappears behind the horizon. The sky opens up with stars, thousands of them, bright and sharp like little frozen daggers. It's beautiful. But you're too cold and too scared to care. You crawl inside your sorry excuse for a hut. The grass roof flaps in the wind, and your body curls into itself like a dying bug. There's no fire, no warmth, no sound, until there is. A faint crunch, you freeze. Not emotionally, literally. Something is walking nearby. You don't know what. You can't see it. You can't smell it. But you can hear it. Grass and frost shifting under paws too heavy to be friendly. Your heartbeat is loud enough to echo. You hold your breath. You grip your little spear like it's Excalibur, and for the next 2 hours, you don't blink. Because out here, the only thing between you and becoming a midnight snack is how quiet you can be. This is what nighttime meant for early Native Americans. There were no streetlights, no locked doors, no do not disturb signs. Just fire. If you had it, and each other. Tribes took turns staying awake guarding the group. Firelight kept animals back, numbers kept danger small. But you're solo, and sleep is not an option. Your brain starts hallucinating. Every breeze becomes a bear. Every crack sounds like teeth. You don't rest. You twitch through the night. Lesson? Sleep is a privilege, not a promise. And out here, insomnia isn't a problem. It's survival. So you wait, teeth chattering, eyes wide, praying nothing wants you bad enough to come sniffing around, and you tell yourself, just make it to sunrise. Because in the Ice Age, night is a dare. Somehow, against every law of nature, you open your eyes. You made it. The sky is still gray, but it's lighter now. Dawn. The stars are gone. The wind is gentler. And you're not dead. Impressive. Your shelter is half collapsed. You're soaked in cold sweat and possibly your own tears. But you're breathing. Your limbs are stiff. Your stomach is still empty. Your nose feels like it belongs to someone else. But you're here. Now let's recap what tried to kill you in just 24 hours. The cold slapped you from the moment you opened your eyes. Every animal around wanted to bite, claw, or trample you. You almost poisoned yourself with berries. You nearly drank toilet water from a glacier. You built a shelter that looked like it lost a fight with gravity. And you tried hunting like you were auditioning for a survival show. And failed. But you did learn something. Actually, you learned a lot. Lesson 1. Fire, shelter, and clean water are your lifelines. Forget them and you won't make it to nightfall. Lesson 2. Tools aren't accessories. They're the difference between eating and being eaten. Lesson 3. Teamwork isn't optional. You need others. People to watch your back. Start a fire. Know what not to eat. Lesson 4. Every single thing matters. That bone, that berry, that rock. Out here, everything is a tool or a trap. And lastly, your heated blanket, your fridge, your bathroom. They're not just comforts, they're miracles. So next time you complain about slow Wi-Fi, remember this. You wouldn't last 24 hours in their world. And honestly, you barely did. If this made you question your ability to survive a chilly weekend, let alone Ice Age North America, mission accomplished. Now go enjoy your running water and Wi-Fi like the pampered legend you are. Smash that like button, drop a comment if you think you'd last more than 6 hours, and hit subscribe.